Before getting into the installation of these white-walled tires, I wanted to be transparent. I still haven't gotten them fitted properly, and they may not be compatible with Super73's rims. This video is for entertainment purposes and to feature the new handlebar jack that was sent to me. However, I don't want to give up on the project, so I'll be posting a follow-up video when I get them mounted. Hey, what's going on? In this video, I'm going to be swapping out my Super73 Grizzly tires for these street white wall tires, and I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, so stick around. Let's get them installed. First things first, let's remove the batteries, including the ChiBatterySystems, which I have in my Irv Labs basket. This thing is looking awesome. Now, I want to make more of a street style cruiser. Curious to see if having a smoother tread will get me a little bit more range, because I still need to do the range test with the ChiBatterySystems Ranger. I have a lot of little shout outs in this video. Before I flip the bike over, I'm going to be using the Handlebar Jack. Handlebar Jack was one of the first things I featured on this channel, and the owner, Andy, reached out and asked if I'd like to try their new, see, even on the box it says new Handlebar Jack. So let's take a look at the difference between the two before I try this one out. Okay, so what the Handlebar Jack is, it's these tripods that can mount to your handlebars with these little straps here, and you just pop the tripods out, and when you're done they snap back together so it can fit in any compact go bag here. The idea behind it is to protect components on your e-bike like the screen or any shifters or things like that, and I've used this to swap mini tires and fix flats. So in this box I have the, like I said, new Handlebar Jack. Right out of the gate it already is beefier, but it looks like it has some cutouts here, so it feels just as light as the original Handlebar Jack. It's got some branding, and also I can tell already that these tripods snap into place a lot better than these on the original. Those don't have that click, and there have been a few times where, you know, the bike has shifted and it's collapsed a little bit. So hopefully this solves that in case there is ever that issue. Also, the strap is a lot beefier there, and it has this nice ribbed pattern here for what I assume is to grip the grips on your bike and provide more stability. As far as the base goes, it does seem to be a similar footprint there, so they snap right together, and you also got some nice branding so everybody knows what you're using. Let's give them a try. Such a simple concept, but super useful. Feels pretty sturdy. Thanks, Andy, for sending me the Handlebar Jack. I'll be sure to link it down below to buy your own Handlebar Jack. And of course, it helps out the channel a little bit, so I appreciate you checking those out. So let's remove the front tire first. I like to take the brake calipers off. Just makes life a little bit easier. And I need to replace these brakes anyway. So it'll give me a chance to see what kind of brake pads I need to order. So the back tire is a little bit trickier. You do have your dropout plates, which are nice, but you have to disconnect the motor. I'm going to take off my brake caliper. Then of course you have to deal with your chain, or in my case, this awesome belt drive, but it shouldn't be too difficult. You'll just use a 5mm Allen wrench on the two bolts for the dropout plate. Something that I forget to do that would make this easy every time is take this rear brake caliper off while the bike is still right side up. The reason being is you have some washers, a spacer, and bolts that you just don't want to lose. And doing it right side up, you have gravity at your advantage. Actually, you might not have this spacer because I installed bigger rotors on my tires. And there you have it, both tires removed. I also like to use this opportunity to wipe down areas of the bike that normally don't see any love, like underneath the fenders and inside the frame. But the pro tip that I want to point out is to always take a picture of your serial number on the bottom of your bike, and just have it handy in your camera reel, because if there's ever anything that you have to reach out to Super73 support for, they'll ask for that number, and it's easier just to have it available, ready to go. Little tip for you. So now it's time to air down the Grizzlies, and luckily I have my old Badger tires that I can use to kind of protect these components. If you don't have that luxury, you can use, you know, pieces of wood, or just make sure that you're not dinging up the rotors here. This will help you get the tire off of the rim. And once you get them aired down, you just press firmly down to break that bead. Another tool that you'll want to use are these tire irons, or plastic levers in these case. This will help you get the tire off of the rim. Then just use a little force, and the tire is separated from the rim. Also, probably want to let more air out of the tire than this. That'll make your life a little bit easier. Then I also have Mr. Tuffy tire liners in here, which have been a lifesaver on flats. These tires are beefier on these thinner street tires. The Mr. Tuffy liners are really going to come in handy. All right, let's bust loose these white walls. Now, I got these off of Amazon, and I believe I got them for under $100 for the pair. So it'll be interesting to see how they hold up. I just really wanted to see what white wall tires look like, and if my riding experiences change with white wall tires, because I think I've mentioned this before. I'm going to take my gloves off because I'm actually already getting the white walls dirty, which I knew would happen. There you go. Now these are 4-inch tires. On your Super 73, you can put up to a 5-inch wide tire. That's what the rear Grizzly tire is. I think I'll be all right with these 4-inch tires though. These also look to be bi-directional too, so it doesn't really matter which way on the rim they go. So now that we have it on, we need a tube and our liner. Oh, these do have a directional arrow right there, so I'll keep that in mind. Just make sure these tire liners are in. I'm using the slightly inflated inner tube to hold everything in place. Looks like I've mounted 2 tires to one. So that gives you an idea of what it's going to look like. Let's pop this bead on. Should be easy at first. Probably can do a lot of it by hand. Might be able to do all of it by hand. Okay, so with these white wall tires, I've definitely transformed my Super 73 into an around town, more grocery getter, errand runner commuter bike than what it was before, which looked more like a backcountry, nice off-road bike. But I'm gonna try this out for a while, and we'll see what we think. Now before I wrap things up, I'm gonna put in this flat out tire sealant, because those white wall tires are pretty thin. So I want to not have to fix flats. So I found this stuff on Amazon. It says it's built with Kevlar, and you can put it in all sorts of vehicles. I'm going to be closer to that motorcycle there. And it seals punctures twice the size of the other guys, and up to 1/2 inch in the tread. And I believe I will be using this full bag on the 2 fat tires. All right, let's add this stuff. So it says to rotate the tire so the stem is in 3 o'clock position, which looks like we are. And then remove the valve stem. right, so I'm gonna put this in the back tire as well. Having a little bit of an issue getting the bead to set, but I'm just gonna deflate and reinflate, maybe even overinflate to get that done. I like the look of the white wall tires, but we'll see. I'm curious to see how smooth the ride is though. That's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, a huge shout out to Handlebar Jack. Thank you so much, Andy, for sending me these. It was actually a huge help, especially with this basket on the back. It kind of leveled the playing field there and actually lifted the bike up and made it easier to work on. They felt super stable, super secure. I'll have the Handlebar Jack in the link in the description below, as well as those other items that I mentioned. Anyway, I'm curious to know what you think of the white walls, so if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, comment down below, let me know how you feel about them, and of course, while you're down there, hit that thumbs up button. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great rest of your day.